Hello, everyone. Jeff here with A Taste for Whiskey. And again, we are on episode number 4 for our perfect pair. And so, to do a quick review, Chef, we've done balance, we've done counterbalance, and we've done flavor explosion. So today, we're going to try to do all three into a single and talk to you about 3 different profiles that we can kind of, talk about. Balance, we can talk about counterbalance, and we can talk about flavor explosion. So again, I'm here with my good friend Derek, my good friend Chef, and so Chef, what do we have here?
Well, counterbalance was tough last time, but this dish here, it's a one-pot meal. It's a ham and beans and a sweet cornbread. What something better to have than on a cold day? And I thought this was a really good dish that we could pair up really good with a lot of different whiskeys. And so, we took the onions and sauteed them down and caramelized them, some garlic and some nice brown sugar smoked ham. And then we took and added the beans. And there's a process of the beans, dry beans, letting them soak and overnight, and then add those beans with the stock and just let them cook down. And one pot meals, you want to develop those flavors, the smokiness, the sweetness, the earthiness of the beans, and of course, homemade sweet cornbread to go with the dish today.
So this isn't a Jiffy Mix?
Not Jiffy Mix, no.
We like Jiffy Mix.
Well, that's all I can do, so I have to like it. Unless I can come here and have Chef.
Why you had me come, right?
That's exactly right. We do the perfect pairing because we get to drink whiskey, but we also get to have good food.
Yeah.
So one of the things that, when it comes to this kind of food, you don't want to overdo it, right?
No, yeah, it's not a lot of overpowering flavors. It's not spicy. It's not overly sweet. It's just nice, earthy, smoky, and a little bit of sweetness there from the cornbread and from the ham and beans.
Which kind of makes this a very interesting pair. So we get requests now of doing different types of food pairings, and the ham and beans was one that's like, well, this is interesting. I never thought of having whiskey with ham and beans.
There is a lot there to pair with. So where do you start? You said it. Do you go after the beans, the cornbread, the ham? Where we went through quite a few to try to figure out what paired.
It was challenging.
It was
very challenging.
It was fun, but it was challenging, and there was a lot of surprises in there. Stuff that we kind of going in, we're like, well, this one will be in. We'll have this in for sure, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
And there was some surprises to it. The 4th place. And this one we decided to bring in because this one is just so readily available and $20 anywhere you go, and it is a bottled and bond. It's a good whiskey, and it did work, but it was 4th place, but just barely 4th place to one that was very similar to it, but just seemed to mesh better. So
it really, so with this. Normally, you hear a lot of that. It's kind of a raw, more fresh. It's almost like you're walking in the middle of a cornfield. Sort of that flavor you get, that corn husk. And really, I felt like it kind of tamed that down and actually made this less harsh and made this a little bit more sweeter. Would you agree?
Yeah, and the corn goes well with that dish. But, every time I taste the mellow corn, it's so light. And when you pour it, you almost pour yourself too much because it comes out.
Yeah.
But I always think it would make a great vinaigrette for a salad.
Yes.
So the mellow corn is that was what that reminds me of.
So Chef, is that a hint?
It's a hint for another perfect pair.
I'm looking forward to that already.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and move into one that paired. We're not going to really rate these per se as far as first, second, or third, but more of just sort of that flavor profile that you're going for. What absolutely makes sense is we're going to go with a balance, and that is Balcones Baby Blue. We tried it with our last perfect pairing. We wanted to kind of squeeze that in there, but for this, it just works so well. The Balcones is aged, I believe it's not even aged, 6 months?
At least 6, I think.
At least 6 months.
Yeah.
But with Texas and the heat down there, age really, again, doesn't matter. You know, you've got that nice heat. It's really working the whiskey through the barrels. But what makes this interesting is it uses I want to get this right. It uses 100% hoppy blue corn, which is a little more sweeter, and I think it's a little more nuttier, isn't it? Than
nuttier
regular.
taste. Most blue corns have a little bit more nuttier flavor profile than the yellow corn.
Yes. So with this, what this does is when we talk balance, we're talking flavor balance. We're going to really kind of balance out all of the complexities with the ham and the beans and the cornbread, which is sweet cornbread, and really just sort of, and you've got this kind of a little bit more of this kind of a char, kind of a smokiness that's going to be coming in this baby blue. So let's go ahead and nose this, and
so buttered corn.
Yeah.
Just jumps out the glass.
And I used to always get like vanilla too, like a really rich, like almost vanilla pudding on the nose.
Yeah, that's where the sweetness is going to come from, which is, yeah.
All right. Well, so let's go ahead and try this again real quick, and we'll go in for the taste. Yeah, so this is just a nice whiskey. Nice whiskey. It's 92 proof, very mellow, very sweet. So now let's see what happens when we try to balance it out with the what I call the Midwestern comfort food.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time you do this and you think, man, this works so well.
The corn comes out really, really good, and even brings the ham flavor out better.
Yeah.
The earthiness of the beans, it all just brings the whole flavor of the whole dish out together.
That's right. So that sweetness, you don't get the vanilla as much, do you, Derek?
No, I don't. Really, they just fit so perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, one does not stick out any more than the other. Both of them which one overpowers the other, and they just sit perfect. They just sit perfect.
And it's that finish afterwards, isn't it? Like instead of having some of that overly powered corn and that overly powered sweetness that you're going to get here, it actually kind of balances us out. We kind of get to this right here.
And it's not spicy.
That's right. Zero spice.
Zero spice. It is nice and mellow throughout the whole process. From the front part of your mouth to the back, it's very nice.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, let's go ahead and go into our next flavor profile, which I think this is going to shock a lot of people. It really kind of surprised us because what we really wanted to go for was sort of pulling out that ham, right? Kind of that smokiness of the ham, and really kind of creating a balance or creating a profile where we really get more ham and we kind of create this flavor explosion.
Well, like what I said at the beginning is these stews or one pot meals, it builds the flavor profiles in the whole dish, and as it sits, that smokiness of that ham as it sits and stews, it just comes out.
Oh, that's perfect.
So this was a late addition as well. This wasn't one that we had sitting out, and we had so many different things going on in the beginning. We was trying to find a whiskey that fit. We started looking around, and this one was just pulled off the shelf. You grabbed it, I think, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
And just maybe this will work. And
we're sitting around talking. We didn't even have a peated one out at all.
No.
And we were talking about, well, what about the smokiness?
That's right.
And then Jeff pulled this out, and it went great.
It really just mainly focusing on getting that ham, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and see where this takes us. Chef, you may want to finish up on that baby blue here. So we don't want to mix.
I got a little bit.
we
left it.
Yeah, we don't want to mix the this beauty. So this is the Ardbeg Black, and so unlike what you get with most of your peatiness, we don't get any iodine in this. What we get more in the Ardbeg Black is going to be more of this I call it like hickory smoke, which fits so well with the ham.
This one I was not expecting this one. Honestly, I'm not a big on beet.
And no,
I like it and I enjoy it, but it's got to be right, and it's got to be the right time.
Yeah.
And the right time today was with these ham and beans.
Ham and beans
for sure.
and sweet cornbread.
Yeah, and if y'all watched our second video on the balance,
Yeah,
with the I'm sorry, counterbalance with
Counterbalance.
the Lagavulin.
Oh, yes.
That was a heavy peat, and like I said, it tastes like like you're eating a smoked beef brisket.
Oh.
This, on the other hand, is a little lighter peat, and that smoke
yeah,
blends really well with the ham because it's not as heavy.
that's right. It is a lighter peat, which Ardbeg typically is going to be known for sort of that more heavy peat, but this particular one is not near like the Lagavulin 16. So yeah, let's cheers, guys. Let's see where we're at on this. So the smoke's there, but this is actually finished in Pinot barrels. So there's going to have you're going to get some of this sweetness that's going to come in underneath this, and again, I just get this nice hickory, nice smoke. Not earthy, not iodine, not that Band-Aid or rubber, burnt rubber that some people will say.
And that finish is probably what softens this up a little bit and makes it not as aggressive as some of the other Ardbegs.
Amen.
So,
Absolutely.
Smells like we're at a campfire.
I know.
yeah, it's coming up off the table.
Well, I'm ready to dig in and see how this is going to work. Man, these are delicious. Oh my.
Oh yeah.
So what that does, again, it just takes that smoke, it really softens the smoke and just blows up that ham.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brings
that
up
is
a whole dish.
it's what I love. If you think, and I say this all the time, a lot of people are like, I don't like scotch because I don't like drinking smoke out of a bottle. But really, if you pair it correctly, it really can create this enhancement. And for this particular case, we're creating this flavor explosion with this ham.
But yeah, if you want a nice spirit with dinner, and you want a nice, on a cold winter night,
Absolutely.
ham and beans with the cornbread and a nice little bit of Ardbeg. Oh,
I agree. And you bring up a good point. So Derek, where would you've got balance, you've got counterbalance. So is it based on mood, depending on which direction you want to go?
Well,
or I'm
not
sorry,
counterbalance, but more
explosion.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when we tried this before, I was like, well, this is the perfect. This one fit perfect. Boy, I like the Ardbeg better now. You guys are turning me into a peated Scotch drinker.
yeah, he didn't like it too much last time.
That's exactly right.
This allows me to get past that peat and that smoke and get to those flavors and the other things that are there. You know, I just have we struggled getting past that before. But
Right.
You almost have to have it with some food to get that flavor profile of that peat and that smoke with the ham and beans, or with a smoked brisket or something like that. Even how about chicken and a biscuit?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Chicken and a biscuit and Lagavulin 16. I still say it works so well. And now Ardbeg Black with ham and beans.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right, let's go into our last profile, and that is this is gonna be kind of a toss-up between a balance, kind of leaning more towards a counterbalance, and that is the Larceny. And I'll be honest with you, this was kind of a shocker to me, because I number one, you think more sweet notes, you think more vanilla, you think more with wheat, you're going to get a little bit sweeter, a little bit softer, a little more rounded. But what is shocking about this is really you get a little more of the spiciness, which we're gonna experience here in a minute. But with Larceny, you're at a 4-year, 92 proof. It's a blend, or it's a small batch. So you're looking at between 4 and maybe 6 years, I believe, at 92 proof. Heaven Hill, and it's the mash bill. So you're at 20% wheat on this. So really, you think that it's going to be soft, sweet, vanilla, and really, it's kind of the opposite because of what the ham and beans and the cornbread do.
Yep. Pretty much, you get that nutty flavor of that bourbon, and it just when you taste it with this, it just that counterbalance. It just comes together as a balance really well.
Yes, man. So on the notes, I still pick up those notes of what I would expect from a nice wheated bourbon. You know, this is a very easy access. You know, it's kind of got those notes of some of the caramel, some of the butterscotch, a little bit of oak to it that's in there.
And to me, it's like a baked bread.
Yes, absolutely.
Still a little bit of peat in this glass.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth. Very sweet, very soft,
Easy.
nice, easy, very well rounded. So now let's see what happens when we go in with the ham and beans and sweet cornbread. I love this because this is my third taste.
Yeah, see, that is strange to me.
It is strange.
So I really thought that would be just like a fit. I really thought those would fit together, but one doesn't overpower the other one, but they don't mix. They almost stay separate. Like the flavors, I can keep them separated in my mouth.
Yeah.
They just don't mix. They work well together. Maybe that's a counter because they don't mix, but
it actually creates almost like a pepper note.
Yeah, it does.
Like I'm eating ham and beans, and like if I want to add pepper, I just take a drink of Larceny.
Yeah, and you actually
That's crazy,
there's
Chef.
some cinnamon notes in there, you know, in that, and you actually taste more of that when you bring it together. And I even get that earthiness of the beans.
Yes.
You know, because the wheat and the Larceny brings that baked bread, but that earthiness to me, the beans, it brings the flavor of the beans out.
This is incredible. And who would think that on a Larceny 92 proof that this actually is the spiciest of the three here?
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's not spicy at all when you just drink it alone.
So, you know, I don't even know if this was really planned, but I'm just sitting here and it's hitting me. This one is going after the bread.
Mm-hmm.
This one's going after the beans, and that one's going after the ham.
Well said. Should we just end it right there?
Did I miss that? And we planned that? And I'm just
No.
now catching up on
No,
that,
that's
or no?
perfect,
I
Derek.
mean, that's how all three of these hit.
Like when a
Absolutely.
plan comes together, right?
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
We're like the A-team.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's all we need to say about that.
Right?
Can't go wrong with either one.
That's
of them.
it. Well, folks, listen, keep up with us. We're going to do another perfect pairing. We got something planned for St. Patrick's Day, and we're really excited about that. I bet it's going to be something to do with Irish.
Yeah, I think you're about right.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for joining A Taste for Whiskey. Cheers.